Okay, now we're going to try to do the same thing for sine. Try to solve an equation involving sine. Again, I'll go through this, maybe I'll go through a little quicker. You can pause, it's very similar to cosine, except for one thing. What is that one thing? Let's find out. We're going to still apply the inverse sine to both sides. We'll talk more about what that means and why it works in class, but we're going to get from our calculator whatever the inverse sine of 0.6 is. Inverse sine of 0.6 is 0.643. So x is approximately, I'm making it approximately equal to 0.643. Okay? So what that means on our graph, here's 0.6. We want to find out when is the sine equal to 0.6. So we go 0.6, do-do-do. You don't have to make these cool sound effects, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do, but they're more fun. So we know that this x value is 0.643. And of course, as for cosine, we can go to the next spot on the graph, out here, take our 0.6 and ride it way out here, to get another solution, 2 pi later, so that this point, just like on cosine, is equal to 0.643 plus 2 pi. You can get that in decimal form if you want. You take 6.28 and add 0.643, whatever that is. Should be close, looks like it should be close to 7. And then we can add 2 pi again, and again, and again. Or, kind of jump to the punchline here, having done the cosine, we know that we can take that 0.643 and add any multiple of 2 pi to it. So we write it that way. Okay? But wait, there's more. Just like there was for cosine, except the sine function has a different symmetry. Notice down here on the graph, we'll kind of pan down to the graph now. The solutions we're missing is this one, and this one, and so forth. Sort of the downhill solution, if you will. So how do we get that downhill solution? Why don't you pause the video, see if you can figure out what that is. I'll give you the following hint. We know this is pi, and this is, of course, 2 pi. Pause the video, think about it for a second, come back, see if you can find an expression for this. Welcome back. If what you noticed was that this distance has to be equal to this distance by symmetry, then this particular x value is pi minus 0.643. Again, slap that into your calculator to get the decimal approximation. It's going to be something close to 3, or I guess 2.5 rather. So pi minus 0.643. So what that means is x can be approximately pi minus 0.643. So we can take whatever we got from our calculator, the 0.643, and take pi minus that, and that's another solution. Of course, we can also take 2 pi k to all that. Now these pieces here, when we add any multiple of 2 pi, we'll refer to that as periodicity. I know, fancy sounding word. That just means that the solutions recur. There are an infinite number of solutions to the equation we started with. This has an infinite number of solutions. Your calculator will only give you one. Your calculator only gives you that solution. You have to put in the periodicity yourself and apply symmetry yourself. Your calculator cannot apply, well, you can get Wolfram Alpha, there are calculators that can, but typically you're expected to apply the symmetry and the periodicity on your own. Okay? Again, we'll try to clean this up in class. Symmetry, periodicity with sine and cosine. Have a good one.